The diet advice you needed in the grocery store, but you're going to get it right now because you probably did already fuck it up. You bought some junk food, you bought some stupid food that you know you were not supposed to buy or eat, and now you're here on this video. And the good thing is that I will actually help you get rid of every single shit junk food or even some other food that you might not know even is bad for you, so you can actually make more muscle and have amazing results in the gym. Okay? This is you just buying some stupid food. Cereals, chocolate, ice cream, whatever you bought. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Žarko and I help busy and ambitious entrepreneurs get jacked, improve their health, improve their fitness so they can make more money with their business. And this is my own transformation. 4 years ago, I used to look like this on the left. You see, skinny fat, wasn't great. On the right, jacked. Also got my friend jacked, and I'm working with a couple of people more, clients, people, whatever, however you want to call them. And I'm working with them to also get them jacked. And yeah, you can just see that I know what I'm actually talking about. And in this video, I'm going to give you, I believe it's 8 pieces of advice. Or I'm going to maybe even give you more depending on how much I can actually remember and recall. And yeah, that's it. So the first piece of advice, completely reverse popular nutrition beliefs. You have to realize nutrition isn't done to help you out. Nutrition is done so that people who make these studies profit from them. And if you look at who actually funds the studies, which you can be the most brain dead person on this planet if you just like Google, who is the most, like who are the people who fund most nutrition studies? You will see it's big corporation companies who make cereals, who make soda drinks, soft drinks. There are a bunch of like full of sugar. Other people who promote like veganism, and all these people who produce processed foods, they push the research. And that is why you see, for example, in research, which I'll get into later on, not right now, why you see that red meat is actually carcinogen, even though it isn't. It actually isn't bad for you at all. I would say it is important for you. It is a must for you to have meat in your diet. But you don't see these things in these studies because most studies are concluded by idiots. And even if you don't believe me, okay, because I have done my own research and I have realized how most studies are done, they're done by two groups of people that, like one of them is, for example, let's say they eat like a bunch of fiber, bunch of vegetables, they all exercise, they all train, they all go outside, they all like are in the sun for a couple of hours getting the testosterone up. And then you have this other group that is eating red meat or meat, and that red meat is a pie that they buy from gas station. But they forgot about 157 ingredients in the pie, and they just look at red meat and it's, oh yeah, it's red meat. Not to even mention that these guys don't even go outside, they don't train, they probably smoke, they probably drink alcohol because they are those guys who go to the opposite direction of everybody else. They're the rebels. And so that is how they do these studies. You look at two groups, one group that is just like, it's just called health user bias. You can just see it online. You can Google it if you really want to. But look at people who are extremely healthy and who are not extremely healthy, and then they conclude studies like that, which is just complete garbage and nonsense if you really think about it, okay? And this is the first rule or the first lesson or the first step, however you want to call it, is because if you understand this, if you understand that most of nutrition research or beliefs should be reversed, I really mean it. And in this video, I'm going to explain why that is and why most of those beliefs are just garbage and why they are bullshit. Like I'll actually like prove you the evidence that all the thing that you believe is actually good for you and it's decent for you is garbage. Like if you would just change your beliefs, you would have different outcome. That is why you're where you are right now, is because you still have these fucking same beliefs every single day. You know what to eat, you know what to do, but you believe certain things that are still in your fucking mind. So please take this seriously. Lesson number 2. Plants are trying to kill you. Pretty fucking big one. Now, the story behind this is my first ever time actually putting a fucking finger on my head and asking myself, how can a plant defend itself? And if you look at plants, they can't move. They can't dodge a spear. They can't run away. They're just there, sitting. And you know, when something is just sitting, it's just there to be eaten, there is some fucking trick behind it. You know this as a human being. You know if something is just such an easy calorie to gain, there has to be some risk to eating it, right? We know this. Like, it's in our instinct. We know as humans that if you eat something or if you gain something that is free, that is of immense value, and if you look at our primal ancestor days, it's calories, it's food, and it isn't that hard to obtain, there has to be some catch. And there is. Every single plant that you're eating right now is toxic to some extent. Now, when I say toxic or trying to kill you, I don't mean it's actually going to kill you. There is certain scenarios, but I'm not gonna go there right now. But every single plant that you buy, potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, grains, cereals, fruit is a bit different debate, but essentially these kinds of like vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, all these things are trying to kill you. Because if you think about the plant, it cannot move. The only way a plant can defend itself is by being toxic to a person or to a species that eats it. And that is exactly what it does. Now people say, but then how can herbivores eat plants and not die? It's because they have developed and adapted to eat plants. That is the difference. We as humans, we don't have that adaptation. And I will, as I said, a bit later in the video explain why that is the case. Okay? But you need to stay with me right now because this is a pretty big one. It's a tough one for most people to understand. But plants are trying to kill you. Understand this, please. Okay? Every single stem, every single root you eat, every single leaf of a plant you eat, it's going to be highly toxic. Like, you know this. You don't just go around and eat whatever plant you want because you would be killed. You don't eat just some random mushrooms because you know you're going to die if you do that. Just because we have 10 types of plants we can eat in supermarket or grocery store doesn't mean you're supposed to eat them. Okay? Please understand this because most people don't know about this. Okay? Lesson number 3. Stop lying to yourself about junk food. And the story behind this is saying to myself over and over again that I will never eat junk food again for 5 times that week. Stop lying. Stop coping. Just fucking stop. It is not okay to eat it. I'm going to say it again. Cheat days. Eating bad food. It is not okay. Now I get it. If you go out, whatever. You have my 100% right to eat whatever you want. If there is no other choice, do what you have to do. But if you want to quit this habit of eating junk food, and you know it's bad for you, like you deep down know it's bad for you, you feel this kind of shame, this kind of guilt when you eat it, stop lying to yourself. Just fucking stop. Most people who are nutritional, research-based, these kinds of people who have like the MD title, most of these guys say how it's okay to have cheat days. Motherfucker, it's not okay to have cheat days. Because I'm telling you right now, if you have cheat days every single week, it is not just stuff that happens, it's a habit. You're training yourself to eat junk food every single week. And you know how the dopamine system works? The more you eat it, the more you will crave it. And at some point it becomes your habit, which is why when you go to grocery store and you try to buy healthy foods, you buy shit food. It's because you have this shit in your system. It's like having a crack in your system and then going around the corner, around the block, and seeing a guy who sells the crack and you're just not buying it. Like, you would buy it because you are on it already. You first have to get rid of it, then you can fight this demon. If you are on it 24/7, then how the fuck do you expect to stop eating it? There's no way. Okay, there's no way. And the way to stop eating, by the way, this food, if you wonder, is simple. Environment. Habits. I'm going to make a video, or maybe I even made it on this channel, but I'm going to make one video where I'm going to really break down essentially how to get rid of all of your junk food and all of this garbage that you're probably eating. But essentially, change your habits, your environment. If you change those things, I'm telling you right now, like, you will stop eating junk food. Like, it's that simple. If you just stop having shit around you that is going to make you eat it, okay? Remove all the stuff that is going to make you eat junk food and fight it like a demon. Because it is a demon. It is poisoning you. It is fighting against you and the person who you want to become, okay? You will not see your favorite influencer speaking like this because they don't want to help you out. But you have to fucking fight it. Stop lying to yourself, man. Change your habits. Change your whole life, your environment. Where do you go to eat? Why are you going around a junk food place when you're hungry? Why? Your identity. Who you're becoming, your thoughts. You have to change all of these things. It isn't easy, but it's fucking worth it once you do it. I'm telling you right now. Lesson number 4. Meat and organs are superfoods. Now, I don't have a story for this. Or actually, I do have a story for this. The first time I ever looked at literal statistics, like you actually look at nutritional facts, not just calories, you look at nutritional facts about meat, organs, and like fruit, and for example, plants, you see that fruit and plants, especially plants, fruit is maybe a bit better, plants like vegetables, the amount of nutrition that is in plants comparing to meat and organs is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. If you actually do look at the nutritional fact of a liver, like you can just put this in a chronometer. It's called like Chronometer. It's an app that you can use on Google for free. You just have to like put your email address to just log in from Google. If you put in liver and put in spinach, because spinach is a superfood and liver is just a bad food you're not supposed to eat because it's an animal product. If you put liver and spinach, you can see the difference. The amount of nutrition a liver has compared to spinach. It's insane. It's literally insane. Now, what is so interesting, and it's really interesting that most people don't even know about it. And I did this myself, man. When you ask people, what is the most nutritious food? And nutritious, by the way, just means it has a lot of vitamins and minerals. They say spinach. They say like some kind of random vegetable, like kale, like broccoli. And I just look at them and I'm like, are you fucking serious? Knowledge is the biggest ignorance that we are paying for. Like, you not knowing how to actually stop eating junk food is the reason why you're here right now in this video. And I get it, like it's hard to do it, but you have to just fucking cross the chasm and do it, man. I know it's hard. I also remember like when I was first actually discovering like about meat and organs and how actually good they are. Like I never once heard about these things. I never heard anybody eating like fucking liver. Like it's just weird. But then you look at nutritional facts and you see how actually good these foods are and what they have inside of them. Which also one more point that I want to talk about, which is bioavailability. But people don't know about this. And if you are watching this video right now, like the best food you can buy when you're in a grocery store is meat, is organs. Now don't eat more than 50 grams of liver per day because you can actually get like vitaminosis, which is, or hypervitaminosis of vitamin A, which can actually be really bad for you. And I don't know if it can actually like kill you, but it is bad for you essentially. Just 50 grams of liver per day. You can even do less if you want. Or you can even just like front load liver one day, like eat a bunch of like beef liver one day, like let's say 300 grams, and then just not eat it for like 2 weeks, you know. But essentially, you have to realize what are actual superfoods, because superfood means it has a bunch of nutrition, and the foods that have those nutritional facts are meat and organs. They're the only ones. And you can do this for yourself. Go put in chronometer meat and organs, and you're going to see how many nutrients you cover. Pretty much every single one. The ones that you don't cover are the ones that are manganese, which you don't even need. It's just to be able to essentially break down carbs, and maybe just like some other ones like vitamin A or vitamin E and vitamin K, which those two, they're actually in fat and they're actually the bioavailable ones, but the chronometer just doesn't put the good reference range to how appropriate animal foods are, because essentially every single plant has so much defense chemicals, which are oxalates, gluten, and lectin, which I also want to talk about just in a second. But every single plant has like oxalates, gluten, and lectins that all block like vitamin E, vitamin K, and that is why you need to like front load so much vitamin E and vitamin K to be able to gain enough. But if you just eat animal foods and really just organs and dairy, you don't need to eat that much vitamin, or you don't need that much vitamin E or K, because you're going to absorb everything that you eat. And that is because of bioavailability. Lesson number 5. Evolution is the secret to perfect health, not your favorite influencer. I fucking love this rule. And the reason why I love it is because humans actually survived the Ice Age. And I actually didn't know this like a few years ago. But yeah, humans did survive Ice Age. And you see this in brackets, book Sapiens. Just give me a second. This book over here, Sapiens, is one of the best books you can ever read in your entire life. It's probably one of the most and the best nutritional research book I have ever read in my life. Now, yes, you have different ones, you have different from doctors. They're going into much more details, but if you want to understand plainly why meat, why organs, and why dairy is one of the best foods we have ever ate, this fucking book. I will, again, not go into whole fantasy about this book because it's actually pretty heavy, and it isn't just about like that, it's also about the evolution of humans. But it explains essentially why, when we went to agriculture, why our teeth just fucking fell apart. Like if you look at Egyptians, and people don't know this, like genuinely, Egyptians had type 2 diabetes. You can look this up, you can search this up, I'm not even joking. And the reason is because they forgot about evolution. They forgot about history. They forgot about what we as humans have always eaten, which is meat. Once you become stationary as a human, and you can see this right now, the same thing is happening, but in every single city, not just in Egypt or Egypt. If you look at what people are eating these days, it's bread, it's grains, it's plants. That is what Egyptian people also ate. Same thing. And if you look at really like Egyptian statues, like you can actually look at this, some of them have gynecomastia. They have type 2 diabetes. We have the same problems, the same prevalent problems today. What does that tell you? Our diet is causing most of our diseases. It isn't even a disease, it's a diet problem. And every single inflammation, every single autoimmune condition, it's created by this problem. We're not eating what we're supposed to eat, and that is why you feel like shit, quite frankly. Why you have no energy, why it's so hard to work and you have to get perfect 9 hours of sleep, or if you don't get it, like you just feel hungover. That's why. Maybe like sometimes even you don't get 9 hours of sleep, and maybe like you get even less. It's because of this. So please understand this. This book, if you want to read it, I fucking recommend it. Sapiens, amazing book. A Brief History of Humankind, amazing book. It's one of the best books I have ever read, and I quite frankly think that this is the book that I have enjoyed the most reading, actually, out of every single book that I read, because it's just so easy to learn, or so easy to read, and it was just so fun learning about the history. And the reason why I bring this book up is because I believe it's over here. In the first pages, you can see something interesting. And that is that pretty much in every single new domain that we have essentially habituated. So let's say, for example, Australia. You can see that in this literally, I mean, I cannot see it in a camera, but I'm going to read it. Extinction of Australian megafauna. The moment Homo sapiens went to any single land, megafauna disappeared. Big animals disappeared. Coincidence? I do not fucking think so. I do not fucking think so. And you can see the same thing with America, and the same thing with pretty much every single place that we have habituated in. Okay, you can see even anthropologically, we hunted animals. Next, fiber is bullshit. I fucking love this one. So many people say how fiber is important. But let me ask you one different question. Why? Why is fiber important? You have fucking no clue. Same thing happened to me when I was first trying to understand nutrition. When you look at fiber is like eating just nothing. Like literally just eating nothing. Or essentially eating something, but it doesn't have nutritional value at all. People say how, pasta has a bunch of protein for the carbs you gain. Guess what? You cannot break down the protein because 90% of protein in pasta is gluten, and gluten is not able to get fermented in our gut. We lost that ability millions of years ago. While gorillas, they can still do it. We as humans, we can't do it. Fiber is bullshit because it doesn't even form your stool. It doesn't help you with colon cancer. It doesn't help you with diverticulosis. All these things are just thrown out words that it means some science shit that people don't understand. But I'm telling you right now, it's all the same. Essentially, there's a problem in gut, and you have this one layer, tiny layer in your gut that gets broken down because you eat stupid food, essentially. And people think that, if I just put in fiber, everything is going to be fine. But fiber doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't heal it. It doesn't have some, how is it even called? Like these short chain amino acids. Guess what also has short chain amino acids? Meat and fat. And cholesterol. And saturated fat, which people say, it's so bad for you. No, it isn't bad for you. It isn't bad for you at all. It's actually probably one of the most important things that we can ever eat. Cholesterol. It is literally made in our bodies. Our cells are made from it. Like LDL is also the bad cholesterol. It's the cholesterol that is like transporting oxygen and material from your blood to other parts of your body. Like it's necessary. It's crucial. If you don't have it, you're going to die. Okay? But yeah, fiber is bullshit, essentially. It doesn't help with diverticulosis. It doesn't help with colon cancer. There's nothing magic about fiber sitting in our stomach. Nothing. Like, I'm telling you right now, I probably had worse stools. Not probably. I had worse stools when I was eating fiber. And every single time I eat just a tiny bit of fiber, man, I feel it. It's sitting there. It feels uncomfortable. I feel weird, lethargic. It's just weird. I feel more stuffed and more full than I'm supposed to be, and it just isn't cool, man. It isn't cool. Fiber is bullshit. Fiber is bullshit. Nobody has a clue why it's important, which is why also it's bullshit. It's just a thing that it's a psyop. Like people are said, oh yeah, fiber is important for what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody has a clue that there is not any single importance in fiber. Okay, there's been studies done when people eat like bunch of fiber, then medium amount of fiber, and then zero fiber. And people who eat zero fiber are the people who actually were able to fix diverticulosis and colon cancer and all these fucking garbage things that can happen to you. Maybe not colon cancer, depending on which stage, but they were able to ease off a lot of it, a pretty big amount, because essentially for diverticulosis you need to have a rested gut. And how do you rest your gut? If you give a food that it can actually absorb, or just fucking trash food that it cannot even absorb. Lesson number 7, bioavailable food. Oh my god. People think food is food. Wrong. You have to realize one thing. Spinach it has a bunch of iron. Yeah, it has. But what nobody tells you is that spinach also has oxalates and also has fiber and also has other types of acids that make you not absorb this iron in the first place. And so I don't know how much iron spinach has, but I know it has a lot of iron. And people think, oh, well, if I just eat 100 grams of spinach, I'm going to gain all of my iron for today. No, motherfucker. Because your body has to essentially, because iron is not iron, the same thing, right? Iron from animal products has heme group. Iron from spinach does not have that group. And it's really hard for our bodies to absorb something that doesn't have no heme group, which is spinach. And so if you don't have this group in spinach, which you don't have it, then for us to absorb this iron, which you can just Google, man, you can just see this if you don't believe me, if you don't trust me. You can't absorb 90% of iron from spinach. First of all, because of the thing that I spoke about, no heme group. And then the other thing is like fiber. And thing on top of that is also oxalates, which if you look at on a microscopic level, oxalates, they look like needles. They're so sharp that you would get afraid when you would see them, how they look like. Like they literally look like, and I'm going to draw this, like I'm not even joking, this is how plant food, this is how spinach looks like under a microscope. It's like this. It's this sharp, actually. This sharp. It has these small needles. It's even worse. Okay, but I just cannot make it in a right angle and right degree. It looks like this. And it has millions of these. Millions of these small microscopic needles that are in your gut. And what do you think happens when these needles come into contact with your skin or with your outer layer or inner layer of your gut? It's going to damage it, which is why people get leaky gut and all these issues. Is because they ingest these things. So please don't fall for this trap, man. Don't fall for this trap that plants are fucking amazing for you. Now, they're better than junk food 100%. They're 100%. But if you want to be a healthy human being, then eat dairy, meat, organs. You can add fruit if you really want to, but don't eat plants, man. It's better than junk food 100%, but it's not as good as you think. Not as good as you think it is. Because most food that is in plant material is not bioavailable. It is not made for us to use it. We can, get beta carotene to get into retinol, which is just actually vitamin A. Like plants don't even have vitamin A, which nobody even talks about. Like the thing that you have, like sweet potato has a bunch of vitamin A. It doesn't. It has beta carotene. And you need enzyme called BSMO to be able to convert beta carotene into retinol, which is actually vitamin A or vitamin A. But what nobody tells you is that 50% of people cannot even convert it, which is 4 billion people. What are we talking about? Exactly. Okay? So no more silliness. Bioavailable food. Eat meat, organs, dairy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Fruit if you really want to. And the last piece of advice is to shop on a full stomach. Or plan it exactly before you go there. I cannot express how many times it happened to me that I would go into grocery store without a plan and I would buy shitloads of junk food. I'm saying this right now because I was blind to one really simple solution, which is just plan. Know what you're getting, or at least go in there with full stomach to not make an emotional decision. Because you can be watching this video right now and you can understand everything. Yeah, plants, okay. Not eating junk food, not eating seed oils, not eating any of this shit. But if you go in grocery store with empty stomach that is screaming of hunger, you're going to go for some fucking snack, man. You're going to go there because I can go into whole hormonal signaling thing, but essentially what happens is that your body just loses all of the ability to control itself because it's so hungry that it has to eat something. And so you're going to opt in for junk food, snacks, candies, easy, quick snack, and you're going to again feel like shit because you know you're disappointing yourself, okay? So shop on a full stomach or plan it exactly before you go there. Like I'm still fascinated that people go into a grocery store without a plan. You just go there and it's like, man, we're just going to get what we get, whatever. What the fuck? Doesn't make sense. But yeah, every single time going to grocery store with a plan because I bought shitloads of junk food like that when I didn't have a plan. So please make sure you have a plan. Now, if you're somebody who is an entrepreneur, ideally, who wants to sort out his health and fitness, down below, first link in the description. I'm looking for 5 guys who I'm going to coach for really cheap just to test out my program. It's just to test it out, to see if I can actually help entrepreneurs. And I will help you like build a physique of your dreams, improve your energy without spending hours in the gym making your meals and going to the grocery store, whatever, to a manageable lifestyle and solution. So if you're interested, down below, first link in the description. And if you're not, well, that's really it for you. And as always, take care, implement what I taught you in this video, and bye.